fellow Ambazonians. Borrowing from Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities, we can describe the year 2021 just ended as follows. It was the best of times. It was also the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, but it was the age of foolishness for some. It was the epoch of belief. It was also the epoch of incredulity for some. It was the season of light. It was also the season of darkness for a few. It was the spring of hope for Ambazonia, but it was also the winter of despair for the enemies of Ambazonia. We recorded the biggest victories ever recorded in our liberation quest. And notwithstanding, we also witnessed some real and artificial challenges as we scaled up this mountain as an institution and as a governmental authority of our liberation machinery. I wish to wave a warm goodbye to 2021, and I cannot wait to wish you all a much more victorious New Year 2022. My dear people, once again I come before you at the eve of a new year to express my gratitude to all those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice in our quest to restore the independence of our homeland, which has been illegally annexed and exploited by Franco-Bulu genocidaires of La République du Cameroon. On behalf of the interim government, the members of government from all tiers, I extend our collective appreciation first and foremost to all of you Ambazonians, especially on Ground Zero, for your courage and resilience, and most importantly, to our valiant Ambazonia Restoration Forces, our ARFs, for the acts of bravery in the fiercest defense of our homeland, the pride and dignity you have restored to our beloved nation by standing up to the bluff of our bullies will be engraved in our history as the primordial achievement in our liberation quest this far. We pay homage especially to patriots and heroes who have paid the ultimate price in the battlefields as we renew our solemn commitment to carry on this fight to its logical conclusion. Let's pay a special tribute to our brave mothers and women who bear the highest brunt of this war, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, as they bury or witness the disappearances of their brothers, husbands, and fathers or grandfathers, as they stand and see the enemy summarily execute, abduct, maim, and molest their precious ones every day. I feel your pain and anxiety. I have a word for you though. It shall be over soon, sooner than later, if we don't relent. You have lost husbands, brothers, and sons prematurely. Some of you have been violated in the most vicious manner through acts of rape and sexual molestation by opportunistic barbarians. Many of our older mothers and grandmothers who should be enjoying the best years of their lives with their families are now homeless as the Franco-Bulu slave masters send their thugs to race down our homes indiscriminately and cause some of them to die of shock and reduce our able Ambazonians to beggars seeking refuge in strange lands. You will be given a special place in the annals of this war for a free Ambazonia. We will never forget your unparalleled sacrifices. A memorial should be erected in honor of such Ambazonia women in our National War Museum. And that's the least we must do when we get to Boya. As many names as shall be remembered shall be etched on the walls of that memorial in perpetuity. Thank you for holding firm to our God-ordained struggle and never giving up. Let us now dedicate a moment of silence to all our fallen heroes, especially our women. May their souls rest in power. Dear Ambazonians, whatever the height of evil you observe out there meted to us by the barbaric French Cameroon Republic from Bambalang to Mbatu, which happened just last week, do not stagger. It is evidence of the enemy's increasing desperation and bankruptcy of options. When a doctor starts recycling prescriptions, even though the symptoms are escalating, know he has run out of formulae or solutions. Whatever campaign their media enablers, proxies, and inside contractors are doing out there, do not stagger Ambazonians. They are the last kicks of a dying horse. There is no doubt that our brave Ambazonian restoration forces have stood the test of time, and the enemy can no longer comfortably stroll into our backyard, kill our people at random, record their heinous acts with selfies, as they used to do 5 years ago. Those days are over. They are gone. Talking about things and events to remember, it's the interim government's leadership that has obliged French Cameroon to seriously rethink their occupation of Ambazonia after 60 uninterrupted years. We have forced them to rethink the one Cameroon lie, to consider coming to the table to negotiate the security and prosperity of our two distinct countries. We have forced them to contemplate withdrawing their troops from every inch of the Ambazonian territory as an option, to end every form of assimilation and oppression of our people. We will force them to release every Ambazonian victim under their illegal detention and oblige them to join the rest of the civilized world to respect the territorial integrity of Ambazonia. It is time for us to defend our restoration. We have, through economic sabotage, made French Cameroon to realize that access to what they used to consider as their farmland will no longer be a joyride for the forces of occupation. We have imposed a high cost on the negligence and recklessness of French Cameroon. Their presence in our land is no longer tolerated. Their supply routes are no longer safe. We have a sustained ground campaign of popular rejection of French Cameroon annexation today, even by our babies. But this is just a mild expression of our determination and commitment to defend the restored independence of our God-given nation. The Ambazonian spirit is growing stronger by the day. We are the descendants of Kuvali Kenya, the mountain king, of Fontem Asonganyi, the forest warrior king, of Fon Galiga, the grassfield warrior. These audaciously, with primitive war tools, stood against the sophisticated war machines of foreign dominions and prevailed. We shall prevail. We must remember that there's only one choice we are left with at this time: total independence for our motherland, Ambazonia. We must stay the course, either as individuals or as a collective. We must stay the course, whether it is sunshine or rainfall. We must not relent until our goal is fully actualized. My fellow Ambazonians, dear Southern Cameroonians, in the humanitarian front, diplomatic front, communication, self-defense, negotiation, We made the most gains last year in the history of our struggle since 1961. We should not gratify the enemy by allowing the recent residues of friendly fire or the stench from self-inflicted wounds on social media during the last quarter of 2021 to becloud our optimism. We are at the most memorable time in our political history with opportunity to seize our destiny now. You may want to ask or know where we are, and it's just as legitimate a timing for our collective curiosity. My fellow countrymen, if you are angry enough for the butchery of our people, if you dream my dream of nationhood, if you share the undying spirit of the Ambazonians' defying will, and if you partake in the promising sacrifice of this quest, then join me in 2022 as part of your national duty. Let us finish our only assignment we have. Let our catchphrase this year, let it be, please don't distract me in 2022. Anyone who closely observes the evolution of our God-ordained struggle will understand that while the enemy has entered the barren phase of recycling failed strategies, otherwise known as decline, our ARFs are still in the innovation phase, upgrading progressively. In 2022, we will put more strategic tools in the hands of our defense leadership in all counties, and that means developing the crucial capabilities and capacity to effectively administer, command and control of our national territory by up to 80 to 90%. We will take the fight to every major city against every symbol of enemy occupation and begin to also pay the enemy in his own coin. This will be the year when we must begin responding appropriately to the senseless killings of our innocent civilians by French Cameroon soldiers using every means possible. Diplomatically, we will continue this year to secure and strengthen partnership with governments, with organizations and agencies, and seek bilateral and multilateral engagements to promote our cause. Our ground game being our locomotive, we will aim at forcing La République terrorist regime to rethink their hesitation to come meet us on the table for a negotiated solution. They will agree with us this year with our common sense equation, which says the pen is lighter than the bullet. We shall also revolutionize our communication strategy so we talk more to the outside world, so that our narrative becomes the standard narrative across the continent of Africa especially. Fellow compatriots, I don't know if he did an awful job in his lifetime, but it is recorded by historians that at the time of his death, on the 4th of April 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had a job approval rating of 29%. Today, his birthday has become a national holiday in America. And disrespecting him is tantamount to political suicide, whether you are black or white in America. As warriors, we should be ready to be misunderstood now, to be understood later. It is better to be criticized by one generation and be celebrated by another. Sometimes it will be better to be killed in the gallows by those you are fighting for, so monuments may be raised on your ashes by their innocent offsprings. And I will prefer to fall by the arrows of my brothers, of those I eat and sleep with, those I called my comrades, than to fall by the sword of my enemy. lest they take my body away as a trophy. David said, I don't care if I fall, but let me not fall by the sword of my enemy. Ambazonia, fear not. We will not fail and we will not fall. We have overcome the worst. The distance ahead is shorter and more predictable than the distance we have covered since 1961. United or separated, creeping or walking, tired or retired, crying or smiling, with many or with few, we are condemned to finish this course. We must enter Buea in our lifetime. The interim government is not just a structure. It is the embodiment of our liberation dream. It is the spirit of Ambazonia. So whether in the IG or out of the IG, be of the IG. Those who don't care if we rise or fall by their actions, those who say we don't need this IG, are speaking the tongues of the enemy. How can any right-thinking person collapse the only bridge over this terrible river full of crocodiles without considering the consequences of their actions on all of us? We have made remarkable strides in 2021. And this will go down the annals of this revolution as the year the tides turned in our favor, as the year we changed the game on the ground. We identified, degraded, and neutralized enemy forces in 2021 more than any time in the history of this war, demonstrating mastery and control while ensuring greater safety of our forces through improved self-defense capabilities. Those achievements came as a result of implementing our national strategic security plan that ensured advanced tactical training of our troops on the latest self-defense techniques and capabilities. After 3 years in this war, our operational efficiency, built on the in-depth analysis of enemy capabilities, operational model, and vulnerabilities, paid off as we systematically improved on our common infrastructure. In fact, the effects of the drafts are visible for all to see. These are the results of vision, strategy, dedication, and sacrifice by many known and unknown patriotic Ambazonians working for this government and for their people. We did not do all this without flaws, without losses, without setbacks or challenges. In fact, we achieved this despite many pitfalls and mistakes. But if this aircraft were Ambazonia, and the engine thereof was the IG, do you think we can turn the engine on and off mid-air because we want to do some repairs? And would that be a great idea? Think about what exactly is the problem with the aircraft before you give me an answer. We will invest our time and passion this year to manage issues. We will not manage egos or break our focus, paralyze our momentum, or reduce our liberation struggle to a mere personality pageant. We are going to embrace any willing compatriot, our minor disagreements notwithstanding, to forge ahead as a team. My fellow Ambazonians, we cannot manage our struggle on the media. No liberation movement does that. Those of you specialized in spreading smear campaigns against fellow comrades should ask yourselves how that is helping us to win the war against our common enemy. If an Ambazonian in government or out of government has a genuine complaint, an allegation or accusation against a member of government, he or she should consider taking it to the ethics committee first, or to our other oversight bodies such as the Restoration Council, the Judicial Council, the Office of the Comptroller General, or the Intergovernmental Oversight Committee for investigation. If any so-called allegations cannot be presented to the government for investigation, then it should be discarded as trash from the enemy's kitchen. It is not worth our liking and sharing on social media or our chat fora. When you spend all your time to share and spread untrue stories and attack your own comrade publicly, instead of attacking the enemy, you are passing the wrong message to our partners and sympathizers. You are telling them the problem between us is bigger than our problem with French Cameroon. You are also positioning yourself for enemy's recruitment or hire by his secret service agents to destroy our own quest. You are making yourself a banana, and monkeys will be your guest. Whether you like them or not, they will flood your phone and social media space with likes and friendship requests. Fellow compatriots, I will not keep you in the dark anymore. While a small group of people in the shadows are plotting to undermine the fate of 8 million Ambazonians dead and alive. A few days ago, the chairman of our Restoration Council, Mr. Elvis Cometa, told me he will be calling for presidential elections early in the year. He told me the Restoration Council decided that there will be elections, and whatever the interim constitution says to the contrary about these elections do not matter, suggesting that our lawmakers are above the constitution and that they can agree on anything of their choosing, and their resolution or agreement automatically supersedes the provisions of our constitution. I asked Mr. Cometa if he should not rather call for a constitutional amendment to include a term mandate for the president if that were necessary. He retorted by advising me to triple my gloves because his elections must hold as he has decreed. I want you all to know that that arbitrary decision by the Restoration Council to organize elections at this time was officially nullified in November 2021 on grounds of unconstitutionality by a majority opinion of our Judicial Council. Let me tell you what I know about every democracy. The Constitution takes preeminence over every other law, every resolution, agreement, or piece of paper. So I think the institution of our Restoration Council is in the process of being hijacked by a handful of Restoration Council members who despise the rule of law, who despise our Constitution, who think they are now the kingmakers of Ambazonia. I call on every local government and county to recall their Restoration Council member, organize a General Assembly, and interrogate your representatives to be sure that they are propagating your views, your opinions, and not their private agendas. That they are defending the Constitution, the institution, and not demeaning our Constitution in favor of some extraneous interests. All Ambazonians should, however, know that I will not legitimize such an unconstitutional charade masterminded by a few kingmakers in the Restoration Council by offering my candidature in such an election. Those that make laws should of necessity be law-abiding. Our Restoration Council has no mandate to organize elections in Ambazonia. No parliament in the world organizes elections. Parliaments only validate election results. My abstention should make it easier for Mr. Cometa and in the Restoration Council to simply go ahead and present to Ambazonia his candidate for his own constitutional elections, and let's grant him the dream of swearing his candidate of choice as our next president despite the Constitution. Dear Ambalanders, with each passing year, Ambazonians have demonstrated their commitment to funding this struggle as evident by our financial contribution during the just ended 2021 draft. Our draft commitments this year rose up to $1.7 million. Thank you all our financial warriors, especially to those who have paid their drafts in full. Also, let's remember our commitment towards the People's ABC TV, HSS, and the stabilization basket, otherwise known as the presidential basket. On diplomacy, the interim government wants to firmly assure the Ambazonian people that the Swiss-led process is still alive and remains the only internationally recognized instrument or process as at now to bring an end to this conflict in an equitable manner for a sustainable, just peace. All efforts by detractors to kill the process failed woefully as we witness futile attempts to tarnish its role and expectations. Both the European Union and British Parliament boosted our plight last year through their most recent discussion or resolutions. The interim government continues to engage with the United States Department of State and the United Nations and friends of the mediation process to bring an immediate end to this conflict. A major breakthrough in 2021 was the internationalization of the conflict through outreaches to regional news media on the African continent. The successful hosting of a meet-the-press session or meet-the-press sessions with local Nigerian press created a communication channel that disarmed many false statements that the evil government of dictator Paul Biya had fed the Nigerian government and its people in an attempt to seek sympathy. In the coming year, this outreach will be enhanced and multiplied by targeting the West, East, and South African states. We believe that the Africanization of this conflict will boost our chances for a quick resolution, as we have witnessed increasing sympathy for our cause within the continent. We will also push for a third party to sue La République du Cameroon in the International Court of Justice. Furthermore, the international or the interim government will reach out to the major power brokers this year, the United Kingdom, France, and the USA, to assure them of our good intentions as a nation in the sub-region, which include peaceful relations between Ambazonia and La République, plus her proxies, and between Ambazonia and Nigeria, and between Ambazonia and Equatorial Guinea. Fellow Ambazonians, concerning the AFCON, forcefully organized from the January the 9th to February the 6th, 2020 in Ambazonia, in our territory, we have said and continue to emphasize that we cannot guarantee the safety and security of foreign teams, officials, tourists, and spectators coming to Ambazonia during that tournament. We have made it clear that our intelligence on La République's strategy to attack foreigners, tourists in Victoria and Buea, and blame our restoration forces in order to discredit our cause in front of the African community, as they tried to do in Taraba State in Nigeria and failed. The coming year will also be challenging. Once more, thank you Ambazonians, especially those who have paid their drafts, and we encourage those who pledged or who still have to draft to honor their engagement. No one is neutral. No draft, and to draft is a patriotic duty, and all bona fide certain Cameroonians should endeavor to take part in this patriotic exercise. As we progressively implement the recommendations of the 2019 National Audit Report, we recognize the managerial shortcomings of some local governments and counties. Building strong institutions do not happen overnight. We recognize the challenges, and we are prepared and willing to correct them through structural adjustments. A more robust Intergovernmental Oversight Committee, IOC, will improve oversight on managerial protocols we put in place to align with the 2019 audit recommendations and ensure greater transparency and accountability in our government. In this light, we encourage greater participation of Ambazonians in governance at all levels. Everybody cannot walk at the back. We need some people in front. Also, this year, we are going to administer our Liberation Quest as one large executive house and one large defense house. Together, we will learn together, grow together, strategize and fight as one man. In reviewing the APP model in 2022, we envision our second ASSC Washington this year. This will enable us to come together virtually or physically to take stock and together make structural reviews of our model. Those who have identified problems with our APP model should plan to attend our ASSC Washington this year. Fellow Ambazonians, our journey to Buea is no different than any journey through the bumpy roads of our neglected territory of Ambazonia. Nothing but trust in your interim government will ensure a safe ride home notwithstanding, as we continually remind ourselves that there is no family without problems. But if the progress we have made this far is any measure of our leadership of this struggle, it means we are no strangers to problems. We are no strangers to challenges and solutions in the interim government. After all, success has been defined as finding solutions to problems. We can disagree to agree, or agree to disagree. But we cannot make disagreement a career or way of life by dwelling in disagreement, especially during this liberation phase when we are not practicing campaign-style politics. Let me clarify those Ambazonians who think the president is there to solve all problems within the IG. No, we have challenges at all levels, and we address them through our institutional and oversight frameworks. The IG is a functional institution. Resolved and unresolved matters get to my desk mostly through institutional referrals by departmental heads and oversight agencies. I cannot address or resolve any issue if the complainant categorically refuses that I should hear the matter of his or her complaint. I can only wish such a complainant well and wait for any recommendations that may be sent to my table for executive consideration. This is my position with regard to the ongoing matter by the Secretary of State for Communications and IT, pending with the Ambazonia Restoration Council. Our differences in opinion or approach should not deviate our team from its common destination. My belief is that we will reach Buea in one huge locomotive, but maybe in different coaches. That is what the IG, our umbrella movement in our struggle, is, whether you accept it or not. So no one can leave the interim government because you are always going to be the interim government. You can call yourself SCNC, Consortium, Sako, Independent, SCAM, APLM, Morisk, AGC, or Ambazonia. Your hopes of our liberation are built 90% on what the interim government does. That is the reality. We are therefore all IG in spirit. IG was never founded to be a group. Learn from our fighters. What is their affiliation? Are they not all IG? ARFs. They are one. Fellow Ambazonians, as Commander-in-Chief, my word to the Ambazonian people is unambiguous. I am simply executing the mandate that was given to me by the people. I shall never deviate without your express authorization. Because you, the Ambazonian people, are the only ones I am accountable to. No one else. I will not be intimidated by anyone born of a woman to do anything contrary to my best judgment. I cannot be compromised by flesh and blood, because I don't want to sell the graves of our over 35,000 killed in this senseless war for the price of betrayal. That is my pledge as we move into the new year 2022, so help me God. Short live the war, and long live the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. God bless our beautiful country.
LGA by LGA, local government area by local government area. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Ambrose. It's a pleasure. I know you've been talking a lot on this topic, but you shouldn't worry that we'll be bringing you all the time, because every time, I know a fortnight ago, you're live explaining how this concept is going to be implemented. But still, I would tell you, when we meet people on the street and when people call us, the concept is really different from what you are saying. So that is why today, as the architect behind this Amber Peace Plan, can you briefly, you can take your time, please, because I won't say briefly, can you enlighten us, the Ambazonians, on the government policy around defending our county by county, that's a local government area by local government area?
Okay, so Secretary Elad, I would be pleased to explain to the people the policies put around the Amber Peace Plan. So the very first thing is going to be simple. We want to build a big society. And in order for you to build a big society, it is important that you look at those units of that society, small units that are well managed, that are efficient enough. Because building a big society will mean families will have to start coming together, households will start coming together, then we move into villages, from villages into local government areas, from local government areas into counties, from the counties into the states. And then that is where we have the big society, Ambazonia Federal Republic, which is going to guide us, which we are going to use leverage in order to get our freedom. So I've divided this into two sections. We'll be talking of ground zero and we'll be talking of the diaspora. So we have two civil societies. There is the civil society on ground zero, which I will call is a society we want to secure and give them freedom. Then there is a civil society in the diaspora, which I will call the big society, because what we are trying to do with this reorganization in the diaspora is to increase the potential, the financial potential, the economic potential of those in the diaspora to be able to get enough resources to secure our civil society on ground zero, which is under threat. So we are trying to, how are we going to do this? You can only do this if you bring people together from grassroots level. It will involve things like change how decisions are made in the government. If decisions are based on broad-based consultation, I believe things will happen easily and things will happen more efficiently. If decisions are based on grassroots level, that is bottom-up approach, instead of the top-down approach, I believe it is going to filter into each and every member of the Ambazonian society. So the government has decided from this day on to give power to the people. And this power is given to the people at the local government level. So the people will be able to elect their representatives. These representatives will be able to communicate with those on ground zero, identify their needs, be it the self-defense needs, be it humanitarian needs, and then use this information to be able to fund the needs of these people and to be able to pass to the government so that the government has a clear overview of its people and how they are doing. Thank you.
Wow, that was brilliant, Secretary Ambrose. You have already started to touch on the structure. So I would like you to expatiate on this structural form. And please try to link the structure on the ground, that is the civil society, the building of this structure. How is it related? What are the connections with the government? So this structure on the ground and the connection with the government, how do they interact?
Okay, Dr. Ella, that is a good question, and I will take my time to explain these things. So let us start in the diaspora. The diaspora, the intention is for mobilization of funds to be able to sustain ground zero. So for you to be able to mobilize funds, you need to spread your wings so that you have to avoid donor fatigue. You need, lots of people on board. And the only way you can be able to get lots of people on board is you have to leverage existing structures like the country meetings, family meetings, student unions, and all the like. These are the structures that will be able to help you now identify, first of all, because we will have to elect at the level of a country of residence where you are. We do elect, or we are expecting each local government area to elect a local government area representative, a type of coordinator in that country of residence. He can be able to tell us, if we wake him up from sleep, how many people from his local government area are there. For example, if I take Santa, if somebody is elected in the United Kingdom to represent Santa, we can be able to call him and ask him, how many members of your communities are there in the United Kingdom? And he can tell you, oh, if it's about families, couple, we have this, we have 20. So we can have a complete statistic of the Ambazonians all over the world. So now, at the country level, we are electing local government area representatives. But at the worldwide level, because we don't want to work in silos, it means that all the LGA representatives from the different countries for that particular LGA do come together and elect a local government area administrator. That is a worldwide administrator. For example, I take again, let us take Tuba. It means that for Tuba, a local government area, there will be a local government area administrator. And for this structure to function very well, because we don't want to overburden an individual, we would say they should elect a committee. That committee will be formed of him. That means a chairperson who is the local government area administrator. And then we have the secretary general, we have the treasury, and that means we have different departments. You have the finance department, you have the health and social service department, you have the defense department, and you have the communication department. These key departments, these key 4 departments should be able, people in their local government areas worldwide should form that. When you form that, then it is easy for you to be able to say, oh, the communication department, your job is go and identify people who belong to Tuba and let them come together and let us push this struggle. Let us contribute. Let us form ground zero. That is what we're doing here. But again, you still now look at, you'll be asking me, but that organization seems to go where in the diaspora. What about ground zero? Again, because ground zero is at war and we want to protect our people as we have been doing. So the local government area administrator and his committee that are elected should be able to identify somebody on ground zero in their local government area who is trustworthy, responsible, and he should be a ghost in the sense that he should remain secret. This team of people would be able to coordinate the activities of that local government area on the ground. They should be able to talk together with the restoration forces, to understand the needs of the people who are internally displaced, to understand the needs of the people in that local government area, and then transform these needs as queries to those in their diaspora who would then in turn generate funds to be able to meet these needs. So am I clear with that?
Well, yeah, very clear, Secretary Ambrose. There is one thing that, you know, we Ambazonians, what I've realized is that we are very, very intelligent. I know any word that somebody uses has to be very careful. I realize you use the word, we will elect, we. Can you please elaborate on who is this we? Are you saying we as we in our own local government area, or we, the government, the IG?
Okay, that's a good question. A good example I'm going to take, I've attended a lot of, I've visited a lot of local government areas already to educate them on what to do. So the election, those who are going to elect their leaders are the local government area, the indigents of that local government area. They know themselves. One thing is to make the work easier for people, for us to kickstart, like some local government areas, a good example, I think is Ngi. What they did is they elected first the worldwide administrator and form an executive. So they already have a platform, and then they begin to say, okay, the countries you send in their local government area representatives who will now form their assembly for that local government area. It means that the local government area representative now will be elected. Their names will be sent to the central command of that committee, and then their job will be to mobilize resources in those countries in which they are resident. They themselves will have their own bank accounts. One thing is important because we are dealing here with funds. There is issue about bank account which people have been talking about. The local government areas create their own bank account, exercise due diligence by putting in 2 or 3 signatories on it, okay? Now, because we want to stop this flow of fake accounts around, it is advisable that the leverage resources we have, such as the home page, the Ambazonia.gov.org, the leverage that, put that information there, the webmaster will put that information there, so that a person from a specific local government area, if he or she wants to pay money into an account, he or she can be able to verify to see that this account is not fake. Well, we know people need money, but again, there are still some miscreants who are out there trying to take hard-earned currency from Ambazonians who are trying to support people back at home. So that is a step the government has taken. To be able to make it also interesting, we want people to find it easy to pay money into their local government areas. So the government is also providing platforms, such as on the homepage, you go there, register on Ambazonia.gov.org, and then you can be able to, that's one method of payment. Again, one method of payment, you can go there, you select your local government area, and then you pay your money, because the accounts of the local government areas will be linked to that. That money will go directly into that account, and the treasurers for this local government area can be able to confirm that they have received your money. Now, if the other method of payment is out of not online, is you can pay to your local government area representatives. Once you have this elected local government area representative in a specific country of your country of residence, you can pay that money into their accounts or designated accounts that they provide, and then they can now channel that money into the accounts of the local government area, the major account, which will be visible there on the homepage. Thank you.
That's great, Secretary Ambrose. Wow. It's not for nothing that you are called one of the architects behind this plan, because you're bringing me right into the in-depth of all these things. Well, you have just talked about accountability and transparency. I was just about to jump onto this question, but you've already brushed that side. Now, yeah, it's not everything we hear from outside that would bring in, but there are some certain things that one really needs to make it clear to the people. Because now I was trying to connect you how these things, this election has nothing to do with the IG, and it's the people themselves that are responsible in electing or nominating their own people, and the IG has not. Some of us who are doing the mobilization now, it has been already accused on us that is the IG that is putting people now on various local government area. Can you just brush out that a bit? Because we are just, as I know, I'm just doing the mobilization. And even in my own local government area, that does not give me any guarantee to even be somebody there elected. It can be when everything is already established, I won't have any position. So can you just elaborate on that, please?
Oh, sure. Thank you. I received some emails and I received some concern, especially our colleague from Switzerland about that. So what I can tell each and everybody here watching is we want to build a society right now, and we want that foundation to be solid. And the only way you can build that solid foundation is based on sincerity. It's based on clarity on every step. Everything you're doing is based on that. So what I'm telling you now, take it as gospel truth. The government is committed to giving power to the people. The government is committed to building the big society that we need to be able to make the Federal Republic of Ambazonia a proud place for our parents, our brothers and sisters, and everybody we know to live in. So when we started the Amba Peace Plan, we look at it, 13 countries will give you 54 LGAs. 14 countries will give it 60 LGAs. But now we were looking at how do we put in facilitators. This is what I will repeat, facilitators. People who will be able to help bring people together. Because somebody will come and ask me, oh, I'm from Bamising. Or do you know any other person from Bamising? I will say, okay, good, you are from Bamising. I will give you a task. Bring 5 people from Bamising together. Then these 5 people, you give them a task, bring another 5 people, and then you start building your community. Suddenly, you discover that you have a forum, that you have 100 people from that local government area there. So in the cases, we look at the list, and then members of cabinet who belong to certain local government area, after all, they belong to that local government area. They are proud to belong to that local government area, and they are willing to put in resources. They are willing to put in their time to mobilize people in that local government area. So we say, okay, good. Your job should be go to your local government area and try to bring people together. In places we couldn't be able to find people to do, we try to put facilitators there. Say your job is, can you be able to find people from this local government area around your area of residence, around the country of residence, or around the world, and then start bringing them together, because we want to fast track this project. Because if we sit and wait for people to come together by themselves, I think we're going to be relatively very slow. So we decided to put these facilitators in place. These facilitators are just there to ease your job, to bring people together, and let's start working together, mobilizing people, raising funds together for our people, because we know the needs of our people are there. I am telling you, when you watch videos from Ground Zero, oh God, there are tears that will flow from your eyes. You ask yourself, if we keep quiet and don't defend these people, if we keep quiet and don't feed these people, there will be famine in our country, a rich country like the one we have. Ambazonia with fertile soil, there will be famine. People will be starved to death. Because if you even look at images of our health centers, of our hospital, you ask yourself, is there any doctor who is left there? So people are dying in bushes because they can't afford simple medication. People are dying in bushes because they are running away. I watch videos of roadblocks. I mean, I respect the young people back at home doing everything. They want to protect their people. They put all those solid roadblocks, and the enemy still come and spend his time, take it off and chase these people who are already hiding in the bushes. How long is this going to go on? So we need to fast track this. We need to help our people, and we can only do this if we come together, no, irrespective of which group you belong to, whether you're ADF, whether you're Soccer Dev, whether you're Southern Community. Now is go to your local government area, get engaged with your brothers and sisters, start talking with them, brainstorming on how you can be able to help your people. You are ambassadors to these people in this world. You were actually chosen and sent to the world, because without you, the images of the atrocities happening on Ground Zero will never get to the seashores of Europe. But thank God, you are here and you are representing your people. You've been doing a lot. You moved this revolution to a different level. But I'm telling you, you can do more. It is just like we are in a race, okay? This is almost the last bend to the home straight. And how we negotiate this bend depends on all of you, on all Ambazonians. It depends on me, it depends on you, and it depends on every single Ambazonian who has ever graced this earth. This is how you will secure the future of the people. This is how you will free your people. So please, leave the small talks around, concentrate, focus on helping your people. We know it is tough. We know some of you have been contributing until you are bleeding. But let me tell you, the Lord will always provide. Just keep on doing the good work you are doing, and then try to pull your brothers and sisters who have not been able to engage fully in supporting our people. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Ambrose. Thank you for this. You know, you've talked about contributing, bleeding. You know, you bring me now. I was not going to this question, but I will just put the chronological order of moving. You talked about contributing. You talk about people coming together, no matter what group you belong to. You talk about supporting their local government areas. Now, tell us, what is the function of the interim government in all this? Because, okay, if I go to my local government area, we contribute our money. Are we about to use it without any influence or initiative or whatever intervening from the interim government? Are you trying to say we take our decisions, we make our projects, we do everything for ourselves? And that is one question. And it will join with another question, which, if we are now taking the powers on ourselves, do you see any risks of increasing more warlords than reducing it, as we are seeing some of it now?
Again, Amber Peace Plan, defending your county, local government area by local government area. It's a government initiative. There are policies which we've defined clearly. to be able to help us build a big society. You don't build a big society in silos. You collaborate with each other to build a big society. You are part of the big government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. All of us in different local government areas, we form the intergovernment. The intergovernment is a structure that governs the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. It is not me here as your Secretary of State for Home Affairs and Resource Mobilization. I may not be there tomorrow, but nothing stops me from contributing what I want to contribute to that state, what I want to contribute to Ambazonia, what I want to contribute in building that society. So let's not confuse things here. The government has an oversight over the local government areas. That is why I will start with one thing, is elect people who are responsible, who are trustworthy, and people who think of a united Federal Republic of Ambazonia. People who are positive about our future. People who are ready to be the Moseses of our time to take us to the freedom land. So, local government area representatives, the local government area administrators will form part of the extended cabinet. Those elected and local government areas administrators will form part of the extended cabinet. You being part of the extended cabinet means that every decision, we talk of broad-based consultation, means that all decisions taken by the government will be based on broad-based consultation, which means the voice of the people in each local government area will be heard. That is the most important thing, because we don't want to leave any local government area behind. So the only way you can be able to make the voices of your people to be heard by the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, by the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, is you have to be in there to tell us the needs of your people, to tell us the development which is going on in your area, to tell us the difficulties your people are facing. It is together that we are able to build a big society. Now, I may just deviate from this question and go to funding. Of course, we're going to raise monies in local government areas. But now, there's one thing which is clear. Not all local government areas are the same. They don't have the same potential. This one we know. So there will be some local government areas which I will class as impoverished local government areas, that they will not have enough people in the diaspora and enough supporters back at home who can be able to generate funds for self-defense, funds for humanitarian issues, and funds for other issues in that local government area. So to be able to ignite this solidarity, to bring this solidarity between all local government areas, to have that feeling of belonging together to the huge family of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, we came up after due deliberation with the idea of, from the 100% of money contributed in a specific local government area during this Amber Peace Plan, which we've divided into 2 phases, I'll come there later, 80% of the money donated will go into that local government area. 20% will go to the state, the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. The most important thing about the 20% is we will use this 20% on ground zero, all of it on ground zero, to support impoverished counties or impoverished local government areas. We will use it to support border local government areas, those local government areas bordering La Republique, which have borders with La Republique, and are facing the weight or the pressure from the enemy. We will also support some local government areas we call hotspots. These hotspots are local government areas where the enemy is pounding our people, where the enemy is chasing our people in the bushes. We need resources for these local government areas. So it is that 20% solidarity fund which the local government areas contribute and send to the government that will be able to help us deal with these issues. So in that case, you still go back to, we are building a big society, and the only way we can be a big society is we need to increase our capabilities at the same time. We leave nobody behind because we want every place to be secure. We want everybody to have food on the table. We want everybody to get the humanitarian care he or she needs and the medical care he or she needs. It's difficult time, it's ambitious, but I know we can do it. We can do it. It's not going to cost us a lot. So now, in order to implement the plan, this is the second phase of that question. We decided to say we're going to have 2 phases of the Amber Peace Plan. The very first phase of the Amber Peace Plan is a one-off donation. Now, if you ask me what is the cap? Now, the cap will be decided by the people of that local government area. I know some local government areas, they are giving a cap of $100 to all their members, to everybody who was born and bred in that local government area. So they are assuming if we are 1,000 of us, then it is 70,000 that will be generated. Then we will use 80% there and send 20% to the government to help other local government areas that do not have enough. So now, after that first phase, there's this phase of maintenance, whereby we can go into lower sums. It may be a 30 pounds or a 20 pounds in order to a monthly fee. So you pay monthly proceeds or more, you do money payments to your local government area to sustain efforts there. You'll be surprised that our schools will be back and up running. Our health centers will be good and up running because you are able to fund these areas. Because we need our people. We need to protect them. We need to give them hope. That is the most important thing. We are slaves now, but we'll be free. And we can only be free if we work together. Again, unity is key in this Amber Peace Plan. All of you from that same local government area, you grow up, you went to school together. Please start talking to each other. Leave the grammar behind. Start talking to each other. Start motivating each other. Start bringing solutions to your communities. Start building the big society we need. You will not regret it. You will be very proud of the face you're going to give to our people, to our areas. You'll be very proud of the joy you're going to create in the faces of many out there. There is a supermarket here, they call it Tesco. They have an adage is read, or they have it under their main sign Tesco, they say, every little helps. So please, nothing is too small to support the struggle. Nothing is too small to support the revolution. And nothing is too small in our journey towards freedom. I hope I was able to answer that question.
Of course, there is no two way I would have answered that question as you have done. You've put the thing in order. I still want to tell our viewers that we're still waiting for your questions. If there are questions you have, please send it through this email. If you can see losvelarry@hotmail.com, LOSVELARRY@hotmail.com. So please send your questions. As I said, one of the architects of this Amber Peace Plan is here with us. And today is an opportunity for each and every one to listen and don't go out there and be getting all those misconceptions that people tell. You talked about we should forget this big grammar. Coming to big grammar. You know, when we spoke about this in the cabinet, yeah, and I made it today clear that I'm a mobilizer or a facilitator, but I am not so 100% covered with what I'm going to tell people. Today, I'm going up, my percentage is rising as you're explaining in depth of these APP, the Amber Peace Plan. And I also mentioned how we Ambazonians are so highly educated that each and every word count on us. When somebody says something, the interpretation goes in a broadband way. I've come to hear something that never struck me anytime, tribalism. So when I read and heard about it, that the Amber Peace Plan is promoting tribalism, I asked myself, but why not? You know, I will take example of myself. For those who are listening, look, I was in my family, I'm the only one who cannot speak the dialect efficiently, because when I talk to my mother, then every time in English or Pidgin, she will be so angry and say, oh, man, if he hide something with you when people they come around, you know, if he talk. So I just got angry and said, my God, if this country talk is to hide things, I will not learn it now. And that is how till today I went the wrong side of things. But my cousin always tell me that since the revolution started, my country talk has improved. And I'm so proud to get that plus. And I'm so proud to identify myself from Guti, from Bo. So I don't know. Tell me, why are some people thinking the Amber Peace Plan promotes tribalism? Because I will tell you, I'm totally zero on that point. I can't understand anything. Instead, I was glad to be identified of coming somewhere in Ambazonia. So, Secretary Ambrose, you can really say something on that, please.
Secretary, sincerely, I've received lots of questions around this issue of tribalism. And as we are talking, I was laughing because these are things that make me really laugh, because there's one thing you need to be proud of, my fellow Ambazonians, is diversity, okay? If there is diversity in any country, it is in the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. We need to be proud about that, actually. I'm wearing this thing proudly because it's not, don't be ashamed to belong to a tribe. That is what makes you stronger. You should strive to collaborate with your brothers and sisters. Things we have done, things our ancestors have done. We did not only do trading among ourselves, we started trading with fellow tribes, the different tribes. That is how we constructed that huge Ambazonia we have today. Let nobody be afraid. Those who want to be warlords will not have a place in Ambazonia. Let me repeat again. Those who want to be warlords will not have a place in Ambazonia, because we are saying our communities now are supposed to have people who are elected, who are responsible. That responsibility starts in you talking to the foot soldiers on the ground, to the farmers on the ground. That responsibility starts in you meeting the needs of the people. That responsibility starts in you implementing governance to the lowest level, to the grassroots level. We should not be quick to assume that because we are organizing ourselves into structures, existing structures. These are existing structures. This is nothing novel to us. This is nothing new to us. We grew up knowing that we belong to tribes, we spoke those languages and all that. Nothing stopped us having friends from different areas. Nothing stopped us building the Ambazonia we wanted to build. We've suffered so much, you know. Let me tell you, we grew up trying to get the best out of life, doing well in secondary school, whether it's GCA ordinary level, GCA advanced level, working so hard. But at the end, you hit the rock when you finish there because you don't have opportunities. Nothing stopped us. That's why some of us are in Europe, because we never allow ourselves to be defeated. So the idea of belonging to a place can be explained here, like in the United Kingdom, right? This is a beautiful country. They accept diversity. A lot of Black people, a lot of Asians, people from all over, okay? But now if you look at the core of the United Kingdom, it is made of Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England. Let me tell you, you go to a pub to watch football, when England is playing against Scotland, you will not believe that we all belong to the United Kingdom, but it's just a game. We know that. In 90 minutes, we do banter with each other, but the whole thing is we belong to one nation. We are proud to belong to that one nation. That is what, this pride is what you should transform as Ambazonians. You have cultural meetings. People should come there from different cultures to come and support you, raise funds for your local government area. Nanjangi, where you put them. I come for your own. You say, you come for my own. When we did do and so, we will support all Ambazonia. When I go surprise to see society where we belong, a lovely society. That's so far it will finish. So get the beauty of belonging. These structures already exist, and the best way you can be able to make things happen is leverage existing structure. There's no need to go and reinvent the wheel. These things are there, and they have never caused warlords issue. Why should they now? Please. Everything is think about your brother, collaborate with your next neighbor, the people in a local government area, like in a county, like Momo, which has 5 local government areas. We are expecting people from Mogamo, Widiko, Ngi, Jikwa, Meta to come together and collaborate. Now, I will take this discussion to a different level. Now, we're going to look at administrative structures. I didn't explain this when I was talking earlier. Now, when you've constructed that foundation, which is your local government areas, now we want to build the county. So the people in that county from the different local government areas now already have their structures, they are comfortable. Now they will come together and elect a county chair. My words are clear, county chair. Why I do expect that county chairs to be elected is because we want people who are responsible, people who are trustworthy, people who think about the Federal Republic of Ambazonia to be county chairs of different counties. These individuals must be selfless. These individuals must be servants of our land. These are the people who make the difference in our society. So when you are making those decisions to elect your county chair from the already existing local government areas that are already a good foundation, then make sure you get people in who are responsible, who are trustworthy, people you can count on. So when you do this, he cannot work alone. So you need to give him an executive. So now we need what? Not proportional. Remember, I'm going to use 2 words here. Not proportional, but equal representation at the level of the council, of the level of the county council. If you are getting people into communication, make sure that every county should get, for example, a county that has 5 local government areas, every local government area should be represented in that communication committee. Because we want to transmit information. If we discuss things in the committee and we want this information to go and we want to keep it secret, then these individuals who then speak the dialect can be able to now broadcast, pass this information to their people. If it is about forming a defense council, you can take 3 individuals from every local government area. This means the voices of the people in the local government areas are always heard. We don't want to form a county whereby everybody in the county executive is from one local government area. Then we are not achieving the goal of making the voices of our people heard. It is important we look at this thing. We start with a micro structure which is out there, And then we grow up to a different tier. The different tier is the county, and that tier will have a base, a solid base, because we are bringing in responsible people from our communities, from our local government areas, to be able to organize affairs at the level of the county. And as we have, which means at the end, we will have 14 county chairs all over our territory. Again, people talk of governance. Again, you need to read. There's a lot of information out there on the ambazoniangov.com, which we have, like the draft constitution, which we have like the constitution. Our draft constitution clearly state we will have 3 states. So in the end, when we get to Boya, and that is unveiled, we will have 3 governors for those states. Right now, we have to have county chairs, and the county chairs in the diaspora are for mobilization of resources, and they have to work hand in glove or closely with the people on ground zero to make sure that we solve the problems our people are facing, to make sure that we generate the income we need here to be able to support our people. I hope that helps.
Yeah, no, before you finish this area of county chair, you know, there is this conflict of interest, because let me take an example like a country where I am now, Germany. We have elected our country coordinator, country executive. We have a full-fledged executive functioning in Germany. And now you talk of country chair. Should in case, for example, the country chair, maybe the county chair, maybe cannot be from Germany. Should in case it's in Germany now, that county chair now works with their counties. How do the country executive under the country coordinator, for taking an example like Germany, that we have, as I said, our full-fledged executive, how do they work together without any conflict of interest?
Again, these things are distinct, okay? What I just explained earlier is a parallel structure, okay? Parallel structure in terms of representatives in a country now collaborating because they belong to a particular county, they are collaborating with other representatives of that county, of that local or that county all over the world. Again, it's parallel collaboration. Then now in the countries where we live, our countries of residence, like for example in the United Kingdom, what we expect is, so now we have, let's say 60 LGAs, okay? Now they will elect LGA representatives for their local government areas. This one will work closely with the existing country coordinators or state coordinators, like in the US. This is going to help them, because I know the country coordinators have really struggled in the past, because, well, they were lucky because some groups existed, like in the UK, we had Friends of Liberty, Southern Cameroon Community UK, and other groups that you could be able to call the group president and say, okay, I'm going to organize a demonstration. Can you be able to mobilize your people to come? Have we ever had efficient mobilization? I don't think we have had, although we've done something. So now, imagine if we are blessed to have 60 representatives of local government areas in a country who are working closely with the country head. Now, as the country head, for example, if you are a country head of Germany, you just need to have that list of 60 representatives. You call them and say, Papa, now how many people did you bring on this time for demo? You've even planned ahead to know exactly how many people will be attending a demonstration, because he has to commit himself to talking to members of his communities, getting their availabilities, and then passing this information to you. You're going to be more organized. Like on the 14th of November, we are going to the House of Lords for a debate. Yes, I will expect more than 1,000 Southern Cameroonians to be there in front of the House of Lords Those who can go in, to make sure that they feel the pressure we want to put on them. So how do we do this? If we had these 60 individuals, I could be very sure that the country head of the UK, Boniface Ngu, should go now, call these 60 representatives and say, please, how many people are you going to bring to the House of Lords on the 14th of November? And he can be able to probably say 1,000 or 2,000 Southern Cameroonians will be there, because it's a big debate. They want to talk about the issues of Southern Cameroon in the House of Lords. That would be the good way for him to do the mobilization and motivation for people to come. So those who are elected as representatives here, they will work hand in hand with the existing country heads who have been doing enormous work to bring us to where we are right now. And again, as I said, I went to the country heads meeting. I said, they are supposed to be the champions of this Amber Peace Plan. They are the people supposed to foster this Amber Peace Plan wherever they are country heads or state coordinators. I'm happy they are engaged now trying to do it. Please, we need you, that you do more, and we are proud of you, and we continue to see that you work selflessly and help the people of Ambazonia come together, raise funds for their people. Again, we need to raise funds more than ever. We need to donate more than ever, please. I know we can, but again, we need to start doing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Ambrose. You've, for a short period of time, we started about 10 after 8 German time, and anybody can reduce that in his or her own area. And for just say for the 40 minutes, you have done a tremendous job. And let me just take you to some technicalities before we go to something bigger now. What is the medium short-term goal of the Amber Peace Plan? So what are we having expecting some deadlines of our people to meet up with the terms of mobilization, electing the worldwide LGA administration, fundraise and for ground zero and all those type of things? Do you have anything to tell us about it?
No, sure. There's much about this. I would have been happy to come to you today and read a list of all these 60 LG administrators already elected. But unfortunately, this process, I will apologize, has been a bit slow, but from the inputs I get from social media, I just believe many people are getting engaged in trying to do the things. But what I will encourage people to do is simple. Please go on doing things and stop talking too much. It's not how much you write on social media that will make these things happen. It is what you do, just go on and start doing things. We are expecting that by the end of November, we should be having the last local government area to be able to send in a representative. Because there's one beauty about this is the Restoration Council, pending the approval of the Restoration Council, those who are elected as LGA representatives or LGA administrators who form part of the lower house of representatives. That will be its honorables anyway. So because you are contributing so much to society, there is need for you to be there, to be able to debate about what is happening in our society, to be able to contribute ideas about what we want Ambazonia to be, and to be able to act as the referee for everything that is going on, where we know a lot of things are going on down there. These things are bound to happen, but we need people who are going to act as the referees in their local government area to say, please stop, turn back, take a 360 degrees feedback and see where we are going. We know tempers will boil, but the whole thing is we have one goal, which is to be able to free our people. The restoration forces, they have the same goal. Apropos talking of the restoration forces, I believe I will come to that later, because you may be asking yourself, oh, how is it structured there? I've been talking so much about the civil society. We will be able to talk about that society too, which is the defense unit later on, if you give me the chance. Yeah.
Well, of course. Well, before you go on that, I would like to inform our viewers that there is a list circulating for the local government area. So please identify your local government area. And also there will be an AP Zoom county by county outreach. So contact your country heads for the link, and then go to www.peaceplan@ambazoniagov.org and email your desire to reach out to your local government area. So some volunteers, person term local government area facilitators that you just explained to the viewers will assist to link us or anyone going there to your local government area. And I hope the country heads have gotten from, we say, the horse's mouth, and will supply the contacts of the local government mobilization consultant of the various country of origin. So, yeah, you just said you have the opportunity on this structure. I was just about to come on that because that is very important. I will just give you the go ahead to talk on this structure because this thing is, you know, we can talk and talk and talk, and if we don't put the foundation, we're going nowhere. So can you just elaborate on that structure you wanted to explain?
Okay. Well, I think most Ambazonia know what the tour of the AAC. We know of the SOCADEV, we know of the we know of the AGC. We know that these are people who have been picking up bullets for us down there. I admire the bravery of the foot soldiers. I mean, this is real self-defense because most of them are being chased into the bushes and then they still go to look for them to kill them. Keep on doing just that. You are heroes. Those who have died, I would say, will live. You will remain in our memories. We'll keep on hoping that your blood was not spilled in vain, and we should be able to get the freedom we need for the next generation, for our children, for our brothers and sisters. Again, I may not be there when you're celebrating in Boya, but if I'm there, I will celebrate with you. And I will remember those people, the fallen heroes. We'll set up memorials for them. We'll do a lot for the families they've left behind. As the Home Affairs and Resource Mobilization, I think my job now with the team I'm working with, the beautiful team I'm working with, is now trying to get complete statistics, the extensive statistics of the fallen heroes, the extensive statistics of those who have been injured, especially those shot on the leg for no good reason. You get a bullet on your leg because you can't be able to run away from danger. We have a lot in the list because I was talking, when I work with the Health and Social Services under Secretary Khalej, I mean, we saw horrible images, really horrible images of people shot in the arm, on their legs, and lots of young people who are in their need of medical assistance. To those who have died, we'll say we did our best, but was that good enough? I don't think, because finances have always been a problem for us. And then again, looking at those in prisons, it's a pity that we have lots of young people who are in jail just because they are speaking for their freedom. They are fighting for their freedom. Lots in Kundenge, so many in SED that we not heard anything about. And we don't even know how many have been killed. So we'll be doing a lot of consultation with families to be able to get these statistics so that we know the extent of the genocide in Southern Cameroon, the extent of the barbarity of La République de Cameroon in our country. So we already, through the ASC and other organizations, the AGC and SOCADEV, have groups of people, restoration forces defending our land. In every area, we do have, like local government areas, we do have battalions of boys doing that. At the level of the country, we have brigades. So now, and if it's the level of a village, if there's one there, then it's a company, which means that we already have this structure in place. That's why when I talk of the Defense Council, it means that we'll be having responsible individuals who will be able to work to identify the needs of these boys and meet up with the needs of these people. They'll be able to identify those who are injured and be able to help them. They'll be able to identify those who are suffering from famine, or those who are close to dying because of their injuries, and be able to help them have some hope as they defend our land. So rest assured that as you are electing people for your local government areas, people for the county, these structures are already in place. And again, I will stress here, my brothers and sisters, the restoration forces on the ground, the true fighters on the ground, should not be color-coded. Whether you are under ASC, or you are under SOCADEV, or you are under AGC, or any other restoration force, please let us in the diaspora look at these, our brothers and sisters. First of all, admire their bravery and see them as one unit. They are not different from us. Don't say because he's a soldier for AGC, he's a soldier for ASC, he's a soldier for SOCADEV, it's different. No, you're doing one job. You're defending your people. Remain proud about that. For all the generals on the ground, please, your job, as you listen to me today, your job is to create that unity we need. Because as we go to local government area by local government area, the funds that we are going to generate are for all of you in that local government area. You get to know those who are in charge and ask them, where are my own funds for the injured? Where are my own funds to feed my brothers and sisters? All of you, again, I repeat, all of you, you should work together. That is my plea today. It saddens me when I see scoffers among restoration forces. Then it means you do not understand the big goal, the big picture of this struggle. Again, I know there are certain situations which we can understand that they are infiltrators whose motive is to destroy the good work of the restoration forces. Please, parents, I know times are hard. I know these children are tempted by the money from the evil regime. Please, talk to your children. Let them work together for one single goal, which is the restoration of our independence. And let us remain proud of our restoration forces. Because when I see the videos of the things they go through, I will tell you, I take off my heart for all of them, and I salute them. Every day, I pray for all of you, every single day. All the restoration forces, no matter to which group they belong, I pray for all of you because I know without you, there will be no single soul left in most parts of southern Cameroon. We've seen villages that have been erased, whether it's Kwakwa, Tikombe, everywhere, every day. There's a burning machine. The soldiers go around with petrol, with diesel, with fuel, to be able to burn our houses. It's the pain about all this is, these are places in which we grew. Some of our ancestors, our grandfathers, our grandmothers, brothers and sisters were buried in front of our doors. We have everything there, and suddenly everything has been wiped out. If this is not a genocide, what is it? You kill people, you drive away people. Why destroy their structures? And now, I watch the news, the foreign news from La Republique. With sadness in my heart, you destroy whole villages and you bring a truck of cement to come and buy them. You've beaten these people, you've tortured them, you've taken everything from them, and you think you can still come and buy them. Lord have mercy on you. The blood of innocent people, the soldiers of La Republique are spinning. It will haunt you. And for those are brothers in the military, please. It is sad to see that a brother of ours dies in the military. The case in Garun, it was really sad to see a brother, a colonel, goes and die, trying to kill his own brothers and sisters. Where are your consciences? Please, we need you. We need a world. For those who are non-Ambazonians watching us today, we need you to be able to spread the word, because as His Excellency Sisiko Ayutabe said, if you want to kill all of us, so be it. But let me tell you, you never defeat us. We are all warriors, and we will prevail. We will be free. It's not going to be long. So the only way each and every Ambazonian who is watching me today can be able to bring this freedom is to dig deep into your pockets, support your local government areas, support initiatives for Ambazonian. Thank you.
Wow, you've given me some goose flesh on my skin with these thoughts and memories of all those who have been shot, killed. I would just like to add a few points on this, on my fellow viewers, Ambazonians. I take these foreign elections in La République as a sign of good faith. That is, when I mean a sign of good faith, I mean, I want to say it is an opportunity for Ambazonians to know that we have been acting as the shield for La République. It's an opportunity to see with our own eyes that every progress towards democracy that has been happening in this so-called Cameroon then was our blood, multi-party, GCA bar, whatever you can name them. We were killed before those things were given. And today, we can see that their own son of their soil won the election and was taken by another son of their soil. And they are sitting there. I've been receiving calls here in my house asking me that we should forget about all our differences, that they never came to our aid when we started our own revolution, and we should keep all the angers aside and then come and join them because we have a common enemy. I told them, no, we don't have a common enemy. Paul Biya is absolutely nobody for us. He is somebody, we call his name because he's sending his terrorists to come and kill our people in our own land. Apart of that, he is nobody. And I asked them a simple question. We have our symbol, we have our national anthem, we have our territory, and we have our flag. And you're calling us to come and join with you people. So are we coming with our Ambazonia flag, and then we are singing the Hail of Glory, this land of glory, and you people are singing your old Cameroon with your green, red, yellow? How do people going to understand us? There is no way we can come and join you people and fight Paul Biya. And for one thing to make it clear, we are not your shield. We are not the people to fight for your liberty. We are fighting for our own liberty. You can fight for yours. So I just bring this up for the people of Ambazonia to see that we have been feeding these people in all areas of understanding, whether it's food, money, energy, manpower, whatever we do for them. And today, they are stuck without us. That is their problem. So thank you for that. We have been 1 hour and above. And well, there is a question I'm having here. I said today that the people's questions should be based on the local government peace plan, but it's difficult to control people, and I don't want any Ambazonia. I always say no Ambazonia is ever left behind. So I have a question here. The person just said writing from ground zero. And I would like both of you are cabinet members, and we in ground zero support the IG totally. We in ground zero support the IG totally, and we stand behind the IG. Thank you for that. Whoever wrote this, then there's no name there. How do you people make your decision in the IG with all the controversies that surround the AP, Dr. Sako? So, well, as the Secretary for Home Affairs and Mobilization, I will give you to just answer that short, because I have a question that is really on concerning your department before we go. Can you just, how do you people make your decision in the cabinet with all the controversies that surround the AP, Dr. Sako? That is a question coming from ground zero.
Okay. Controversy is a word. I don't want to define it, you know. I don't think, because now, why should there be controversies around Dr. Sako? We do read a lot of things. I don't think, even when His Excellency Siseko Ayutabe was the interim, was the president of the interim government, or when Atamilan was there, or when Patasan was there for Skakov, we get this thing. People talk about controversy around our leaders. The whole thing is, if you see the effort these people are putting on daily basis in terms of meeting the people, in terms of meeting, trying to secure this for Ambazonian, trying to build this nation, you will not believe your eyes. As the Secretary of Foreign Affairs, I know your plate is full. It is not just about the cabinet meetings you have, or the departmental meetings you have, or the diplomatic missions. Apropos of diplomatic missions, I'll come back to that, because I will have to ask you, how do you think these things are funded? And I will tell you, you have to come back, pay your citizenship levy, which we said, if you pay $1 a day for 30 days, you should be able to pay $30 to support diplomatic efforts, to support legal fees for our people. We have lots of people who are detained. We have lawyers. We have to pay their flights. We have to pay their transport to go and support, defend these people. We have people in prisons that we feed, the internally displaced. We have refugees that we support. So for these government services or things that the government do, we encourage people to register and pay their citizenship levy. That is the only way you can be able to sustain the government. So now, if the individual was specific about which controversies, and it would have helped me to be able to talk around that. But the whole thing is, when you be there up there as the leader of Ambazonian, you will understand what it means to get up every morning, if you even have sleep, to start thinking Ambazonian. He thinks Ambazonian every minute. He eats Ambazonian, he walks Ambazonian, he sleeps Ambazonian. He doesn't have a life, you know. But again, we must cherish his efforts. As cabinet members, as people wanting to build a big society, you should be asking yourself, what am I doing to contribute to the success of this government? What am I doing to contribute to the freedom of Ambazonian? Is it enough to just criticize? Is it enough to just forward messages? Can I do more? These are the things you should get up every morning. If you are a true Ambazonian, whether you're on ground zero in the diaspora, on ground zero, I should expect people on ground zero to be asking themselves, how much am I helping the internally displaced? How much am I putting in to help the internally displaced? How much am I helping these boys who are defending our nation, who have abandoned their families? Can I identify some of these families and start feeding them? Ask yourself these questions every day you wake up. Those in the diaspora, we've given you a golden opportunity now. Go back to your local government area, to your roots. Fund your people there. You will sleep and you'll be secure. There's one thing we want to offer through the ambazoniangov.org. We want to offer statistics that will be able to show everybody how much each local government area has contributed, how the funds has been used. The intention is this will be able to encourage other local government areas that are underperforming to do more for their people. Projects will be carried on in local government areas, be it water project, be it electricity project with solar panels, and lots of projects will be carried on because we want to build our society, we want to take power back, we want to make our people dream about the true Federal Republic of Ambazonia. So we have to start doing these things. It is a community development effort, which we are selling as Amba Peace Plan. Defending your county, local government area by local government area. Get engaged, do something. Don't just sit and forward messages or write and criticize people or make audios. The most important thing in this revolution and the set of people in this revolution that I rightly respect, but with no disrespect to anybody, are those who do the things, those who work hard to make sure that things happen, those who are bright minds, who are proactive and think well ahead. You are all smart minds, please. Ambazonians, those in the diasporas, those back at home, you're too intelligent. Your resilience is higher than anyone in this world. No nation has ever been so solid against a despot like you've been. But again, there's one thing and one thing only. A few individuals, I will repeat, a few individuals are destroying your good work. It is time, as brothers and sisters, to point fingers to these individuals and tell them, please, you beat a child and put him inside the house. You don't throw that child outside. These are the things we have to do to move on. We cannot continue to see people destroying the good work that you are putting in because we want to get to prayer. We want to be free. But again, let's stop making silly mistakes. We are building a foundation. We are turning the corner and we are heading to the home straight. So let's be organized as we go forward. From today on, let us be different people. Let us embrace differences, in opinions. That is very important. It is not just because I differ in opinion or in their ideologies that we should fight. There must always be a common denominator, something, and that is Ambazonia. It is homeland where we belong to. So that is what is attractive to all of us, the freedom of our people. That is all we want and nothing else. Most of you out here, you're independent business people, you are realized professionals, you are everything. But again, don't rest on your laurels. If the people back at home are suffering, if the people back at home are being persecuted every day, you have to do something, my brother. Let your conscience guide you to do more, to give more. For those who don't have enough, please, every little helps. So please, register, pay your citizenship levy, contribute to your local government area, make this big society we are intending to build a really solid big society whereby all of us will be proud to say we contributed to this free Ambazonian. And we can sing a national anthem with pride because we did it. we'll celebrate it as if we scored 1,000 goals in a single minute. But please do your job. That's the most important thing. Don't just sit and talk and talk. Please do something to support the revolution. Do something to support the suffering people of Ambazonia. Do something. Be it intelligent works, be it financially, be it morally, be it spiritually, please just do something. And stop criticizing everything people do. Please. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Ambrose. We are about to, there are some questions here, but I've read through and I'm saying that you have answered all these questions. They're talking about accountability on the LGA. They talk of transparency, structure. Someone is asking on how the structure will be built. You already talked on that. Electing their own, you already talked on that. So, fellow viewers, I think you sent your question earlier and you've already heard the answers of all these questions, so we won't waste time going through again. Just to add more about the controversy, I want to first of all thank the person who sent this email that they are fully in support behind the IG. I'm happy for that. Thank you so much for that confidence. And I just want to make fellow viewers also to know that the AP, Dr. Sako, is the acting interim president, but he is not making decision on us. Because many people sit there and think we are just sitting in the cabinet and Dr. Sako comes and tell us that he's doing this, or he doesn't even tell us no. In fact, he was with us here recently in Germany, and I told him, please stop keeping all these things in your mind. Tell the people the truth. Because when this man brings anything that he suggests to the cabinet, which is highly debated, and he has been hammered on, and we go on voting before any decision is being taken. I hear some people say hand clappers, call us all type of names. No, there is no controversy hanging on the AP. If there is any controversy, it's hanging on all of us in that cabinet. Because he does not, well, I don't want to use the word command, because yeah, he commands as the commander in chief, but he does not impose his views on us. We always democratically accept on something. And many people have written to me talking about Chris Anu. Chris Anu doesn't make decisions. Chris Anu never goes out to talk to the people without authority coming from the cabinet, giving him that opportunity. Whether he does it well or he does it wrong is our fault. We are collectively blamed on it. Stop blaming on special people, Dr. Sako, Chris Anu. No, it's our fault. If the decision was right, then the credit goes to the cabinet. If it's wrong, the credit goes to the punishment goes to the cabinet. So I know Dr. Sako is the head. He carries all the blows from left to right. That is all what we do. The same thing. If something goes wrong in the foreign department, I will carry all the blames. Even if I'm the one who did it wrong or not, I carry the blame on me. So let the people know out there that we don't just sit there and listen to Dr. Sako comes and tell us what to do, and we just go out there and do it, even if it's wrong or right. So there's no controversy hanging on him. If there is controversy, it's hanging on us, the cabinet members. So before we go, I would just like to get a point on you now, because we're already an hour and a half, and I think it's time we'll be closing down. Coming to your department, what are your general consideration on the state of this revolution now? Is the State Department that you had structured to meet the vision of this IG? So this is a question I would like you to really give us confidence, because there is a lot of people out there saying the revolution is spoiled, the revolution has died down. There is all this funny arguments. For me, I don't want to give my own opinion. You, as the Secretary of Home Affairs, how do you see the state of the revolution today? And I think that question will be the last question before we close down.
Okay, Secretary Ella, thank you. Concerning the state of the revolution today, if one put on a scale from 0 to 10, will be biased, okay? But at one point, in trying to answer this question, I might be able to attribute a value to that range. One thing which is clear is the way I've seen this struggle evolve is like a relay. It's a race. And the good thing about this race is we have a baton or we have a stake. You need to change as you go in. So as we grew up, we saw a lot of people carrying the banner of SCNC. Some of us, we know them, some of them we thought they were crazy and all the like. They kept on racing. Then we had a series of people coming on and taking over from them and pushing the revolution to a higher level. Then 2016, things turned around. We saw lawyers getting involved. We saw teachers getting involved because they have taken everything we had, completely. They've taken everything. They've taken the judiciary, they're taking the educational system, everything. Power camp no longer exists. PWD no longer exists. Not everything was taken away from us. Electricity, we depend on IDEA to provide electricity. When we have the Yoke Dam there, when we have the Mention Fall. So virtually they've taken everything away from us. The mobile police we no longer have. We live with nothing. And then our only school system, our judicial system was taken away. So these people came up now, as you all know, and said, enough is enough. You need to listen to us. That's why we are where we are today, because the reception of this message, which we sent to them, starting with Honorable Weaver in their parliament, and then going through our lawyers and coming also from the diaspora, brave diasporans for the many demonstrations under all sorts of weather. I remember in front of Wall Street and number 10 in December, it was freezing cold. But people were still there to demonstrate, to say enough is enough, pushing this message. So we can't forget all these people. We've pushed the revolution to unprecedented levels. We are at a point, I would say, I think we are on halfway, level 5. It's not bad because normally it's more from 0 to level 5. And then we may even be jumping levels from now on. My department, Home Affairs, extended and added a resource mobilization, is committed. I repeat, we are committed to making sure we bring policies into the government, passed to our people, that will be able to help, in the first place, protect our people, provide intelligence that will save lives, feed our people, and prevent famine. And most of all, prevent genocide in southern Cameroon. This one, we are working together in close collaboration with Secretary Elliott here from the Department of Foreign Affairs, with Bishop John Ijawang from the Department of Homeland Security, to make sure that these things happen. Secretariat is committed to make sure that we go talking to people, be it to the Commonwealth, be it to the Foreign Office, be it to the British government, be it to Australian government, Canadian government, Ghanaian government, Kenya, and all the like. We are knocking all doors to make sure that the voices of our people on the ground are heard. There are people on the ground talking to people in the African Union. There are people on the ground talking to people in the United Nations. There are people everywhere knocking every door, whether be it Brazil, be it Ecuador, be it Honduras, be any nation. We are doing our best to make sure the cry of our people, the tears of our people are wiped one day. We're not sleeping. So my department has this objective to make sure we generate funds for the revolution. This project, Amber Peace Plan, is one of our projects. Then, in order to build upon this, I will tell you we have a second project in the pipeline. We have devoted people in the Department of Identity and Passports who are working so hard to provide structures, to provide software, to provide a platform for us to be able to generate our first identity cards for Southern Cameroonians in the diaspora.
Good job, bravo.
So I can say this project is almost 90% gone, and we have some few months or weeks to be able to provide identity card for our people. You should be proud to hold your first Ambazonian identity card. Exactly. And to support the revolution. So these are the two main projects in our department. And we are going for a third project, which I won't mention here, but it's still another project that will help generate the income we need to support our people on ground zero. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Secretary Ambrose. And in fact, we have used what we put as the heading of this discussion today, in-depth, and we've really done the in-depth of all what we have been doing. And televiewers, please, you've heard everything from the Secretary of Homeland and Mobilization. It's now depend on you. Contact your local government areas, contact your facilitators, contact the country heads, register on your local government areas. And I will use this opportunity to call on my Nguti local government area people, because you've heard it. In fact, we are sleeping. I don't know. Let me use this opportunity today, worldwide, to tell them both people, where are you people in this revolution? Why are you sleeping? What are you waiting? What are you waiting? Are you waiting for the day that will arrive, Boya, before you come, or the day will not arrive before you come? So please, I am calling on my own Bo people, the people of Nguti local government, Mbeta, Njungu, all the areas, Ndinta. Please come out and let's make sure we facilitate our arriving to Boya. Because I am telling you, I was discussing today with Father Eswa. And if we want to count them Bo people who are in this revolution, it's like if that village or that area, those tribal population group doesn't exist. I'm so ashamed. And when you can't count this, you talked about the SCNC. I remember when my uncle, Barrister Kuntang Elad, was going to the meeting of SCNC. I was a child. They used to take us there, and I didn't know anything what we were going to do there. All I was enjoying to go there was to eat kupang biscuit and drink grenadine to make my tongue red. But I did not know I was building a foundation to be today one of the front runners of this revolution. So the Mbo people, the Nguti area people. I'm really ashamed that one of your own son of the soil is standing in front there and you guys are sleeping behind. But take note, it's not a threat, but we'll fish everybody out. So I want to thank you, Secretary Ambrose. I don't know if you have a last word to say to the people before we go, just for a few minutes, and then.
Okay, Secretary Ella, thank you so much for gathering the questions from the people and bringing these questions to me to be able to, provide answers. Again, I won't say this is a silver bullet, this project that is going to work, but I know it's already working in some local government areas. That is why it is important we put in so much effort. Please, the only thing I will beg from everybody is there is one thing we need, and we need to be united. It is this unity as brothers and sisters that is going to help us help brothers and sisters on ground zero. These people, most of them, lack food. I received a message today which saddens me and which I would like to talk directly to ground zero now is, please, for those drivers who are exploiting our people by increasing fares from 1,000 to leave Bamenda to Njinikom, now it used to cost 1,000 francs, and some people even take 10,000 francs for that journey. Please, be fair to all of us. We are all in this together. Do your own job. Transport these people at affordable prices. I know it's hard to get by with the fuel you need to be able to run your car and services, please. Yeah. At one point, the people of Genicon, the people of Boyo will be able to help. So please, do not put a lot of hardship on our people, because we are already suffering so much injustice from all corners, from all angles. For those who have decided to be putting food prices up, I hear in some areas a cube of Maggi is now 100, which we used to buy for 10 francs, 20 francs, 25 francs, and it's now 100 francs CFA. Please, let your consciences guide you. Please, talk with fellow business people. Let's put these prices down. Let's not put a lot of duress on our people. They are already very stressed. Let's not put so much burden on them. This war that was declared on Southern Cameroonians, we're not prepared for any war. All we did is we went out with peace plans and marched to give our message. Now, we find ourselves in bushes. We find ourselves being haunted. We find young men and women being killed every moment. I believe this time of the night that I'm talking, there is an enemy somewhere waiting to go and assassinate our people, assassinate our boys. But Lord God, please, intelligence, which I spoke about, is you hiding somewhere, seeing the enemy going somewhere to go and kill people, sending a message to that people, to those individuals, and say, please, there is danger in the air. Run away from there. The snake is sneaking in. I expect that from everybody. We are almost 5 million to 6 million on ground zero. Please help each other. Work together. Keep everybody safe. And for those of us in the diaspora, you know what to do. Please go to your LGs, contribute, support their efforts. I think that is it. And Secretary, thank you so much for taking time out to join me today to talk to our people, to build our nation, to give the confidence our people deserve, and to give the directives they need in order to implement Amber Peace Plan. For those who contributed so much in terms of ideas like you, Mark Barata, Eric Tato, the AP, and then the country heads, and lots of others that we drafted in to be able to make these policies. Please keep on doing the good work you're doing. Before I go, there's one thing I should have been able to explain, because we got some questions about, what is the difference between county and county, LGA by LGA? Please, these things, we are smart people. Ambazonians are intelligent people. We can be able to work with these two things. These are just concepts. But the one good thing is, you want to build a house, you don't start by putting the roof, you start by putting the foundation. So do your foundation and everything will fall in place. You find your counties falling in place, everything so smooth. And dreaming, just as Eric Tato is dreaming, just as Mark Barata is dreaming, just as each and every Ambazonian is dreaming. That is all I can offer today. And if there are any questions, please make sure you hit at those. Our director for LGA mobilization has an email, which is the Amber Peace Plan at ambazoniangov.org, Amber Peace Plan at ambazoniangov.org, which you can send your questions to, you can contact, or if you have any issue, you can contact me anyway. So thank you all, and I wish you a wonderful Ghost Town Monday tomorrow and a wonderful week. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Secretary Ambrose, and thanks to all the technical team for enabling this evening, afternoon, morning, wherever each and every viewer is watching. Thanks especially to the people of Ground Zero for watching directly, and thanks to ABC. So everyone, all the viewers have heard, please engage in joining your local government areas. As I was preparing to come online live today with you, I saw this book and I was reading. It's about Europeans building their citizenship. That is it. Here in Europe, they are still also building their own. So it's not something. And there was a place there that triggered to how change had been triggered, and is written there in Spanish, aquí vivo, aquí voto pa una ciudadanía plena, which means I live here, I vote here towards a full citizenship. So you can see the importance of this local government area. Something. It's not a concept that has just come from somewhere in space. It's something that is moving all around the world. And so thank everyone for supporting up till this hour. We've made exactly 2 hours here today. I think it's 2 hours of important information, in-depth analysis of the local government peace plan. Thank you again, Secretary Ambrose, and thank all your team in the mobilization and the home affairs, and thanks every Ambazonia for all what we have been doing together until where we are today. So that is it. And have a wonderful day, night, morning, everywhere you are in the world. Once again, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Condition, volonté, Nzambe. Diplôme, to diplôme, te, la grâce me suffit. Critère ya baiba zwangolu, moto te ya mokili. Ako kite ko yimbolango, ezama kamba Nzambe. Asala kangolu na oyalingi. Apoya offrande ya kaya, andima ya abela. Apoya pe Esau, alinga Jacoba. Yabino nini soki Nzamba sali motongolu Ezama kambo na ye moko Yesu asali ngangolue Asali ngangolue Asali ngangolue been so gracious to me. Dieu m'a fait grâce. Suki asali atuna pembo tote.